All right, good afternoon, good morning, uh, good evening, depending on where you're watching. Wanted to take one last look here at Hurricane Dorian. It did make a landfall here on the Outer Banks, North Carolina area. Pretty extensive damage coming out of that area. As you can see now, it's moving off to the northeast. We'll take a look at the stats of it here. It's moving 24 miles an hour. So you can see it's really ejecting out of the area fast. Still a Cat 1, 90 mile per hour, 958 millibars. Still a strong storm, but moving northeast at 24 miles an hour. The strongest wind gust I've seen was in the 90s. It was like a 97, I believe. So pretty strong, but stayed just off the coast. So the models did pretty good. They had to make a couple adjustments on it, but they did okay, I guess you could say. This thing is just going to continue heading off to the northeast, and then it's going to take a swing, kind of a very odd path. If you look at this thing, for it to go over Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, even affect parts of Canada, it's very, very rare for a tropical storm to go through Newfoundland. I mean, to see the watches and warnings that are up in those areas right now is it's very, very surprising. It's just not something that you see very often. We'll zoom out here. You can see this tropical storm. Basically, this is going to take the same path as Dorian. It's going to come over here, probably go up into the UK. We'll see exactly what happens with this. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal, but you never know. It may develop further again over here, although I think these waters are pretty cold. I'm curious. No, they don't have it on. Okay, so let's go back in here and we'll take a quick look at the radar. This is pretty much in the major ways done affecting the U.S. Now right here it's going to start to go straight, so it's going to hit the New England states a little bit, but it's not going to be as bad as they saw in the Carolinas and down through Georgia and Florida and Virginia. Sure, Delaware, Maryland, and there, New Jersey, they probably saw a little bit, so here's the overall view. You can see, I mean, it's still a large system. This is what's happening to push it out of the way. So you can see as of 6 September 2019, 1800 UTC. It's central pressure 958, so it's still pretty strong, like we saw. So now we'll come over to this page here as it loads. This is the overall look of the tropics, and so what you can see with this is you can see all the different storms. So there we have Dorian. That's Gabriel, I believe. You have another wave coming off, and a couple just different spots that we're watching. This is the more detailed look of, hey, here's what's going on in the tropical Atlantic right now. So what we're going to do is put the 5-day graph on here for you guys. Now you can see, so here's this one. It's not turning as north as it was. So we'll have to see what happens with this one. It's small development chance, but 70% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days on this one. So still pretty high. You see it's just moving straight westward. Maybe it's going just a little bit northwestward. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Here's Dorian, obviously headed off to the northeast. Gabriel, that's the path you saw on the radar, headed off to the northeast. And this one, just not a real strong chance of it developing into anything. So for whatever reason, conditions aren't favorable, which is good. Even if it doesn't form but stays together. Let's hope it just does not go over the Bahamas, because it's close there to going over to headed towards the Bahamas. So we'll hope it stays out of that area. Again, let's take one final look here at Dorian. It was quite the storm. Yeah, just a very potent storm, big storm. Just hung out for quite a while, slow moving. It'll be remembered for all of its damage in the Bahamas for sure. That's where you're going to see, a lot of pictures come out of. So I've seen a lot of pictures come out of that area, and it's just total destruction. That's just the best way to put it. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of aid needed in that area. They're going to need a lot of money to help rebuild and get things back to normal the best they can. It's going to be interesting to see just how many homes were destroyed, what percentage of the Bahamas, and in this area down here in Freeport and what is it, Marsh Harbor and Free Bay. Freetown, Freeport, and Marsh Harbor. And this is where it made 3 different landfalls, and it just hung out in here, moving real slow, and then came down kind of. So just not a good situation for that area. So we'll take one last look at her here, and we'll see actually looks. Yeah, so I'm going to keep an eye on the tropics. I'll let you know about that storm way out in the eastern Atlantic. We'll see if it spins up into anything, or if it just, continues churning along and doesn't really do much of anything. They are saying that, the chances are pretty high though, so we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens there. Again, I don't know. It may or may not form into anything. But I'll keep my eye open. I'll do some more updates, and yeah, we'll just take it from there. So this is wxninjaa. I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking me out, and yeah, we'll just, like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on this system here. I'll let you know if anything's going to come of it. So feel free to subscribe. Just click the bell icon, and that'll get you the updates as soon as I post a video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the chat, and I'll answer them the best I can. So appreciate you guys stopping by, and we will see you next time. Take care.